Floral designs is something you should always have in your nail artillery. Greg's gonna do an awesome topical design using Mission Control and the micro detailer right now.
Alright, I'm pumped because I got a brand new Mission Control gel paint kit. I'm gonna take some of the colors on this, and what I'm gonna do is create a really cool abstract free edge as my background and lay some floral patterns around that design. All right, so what I'm gonna show you guys is a really cool trick. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this up, and I just need, you could use an X-Acto knife or even a spatula, but what I wanna be able to do is just kind of work around, right? That way, I have just a small opening in the center, as you guys can see, and then it can stay nice and tight, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit out here and then place it onto my tile. So as it starts to get low, then you can remove the remainder from the surface, but what this is going to do, it's going to protect it from leaking on the sides, and it's going to basically give you the opportunity to use a little bit of the styrofoam to clean your spatula as you're pulling it out onto the tile. Alright, so what I want to be able to do is I'm going to make sure that my edges aren't going to peel, so I'm going to take a little bit of protein bond. And I'm just going to kind of coat the edge. Right, I'm going to go around the cuticle as well. I need secure edges, right, cuticle area, and then basically where I'm going to be laying down most of the paint on the edge of the nail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of fizz, and I'm just with kind of like a dry brush, I'm just kind of attacking the edges. So if you get a little pullback, not a big deal. All I'm trying to do is just establish like a really nice edge. I'm not trying to create a sharp smile line. I'm just using the tip of the brush just to kind of coat it, right? So just kind of lightly coat up around the edge. If it's kind of a jagged smile line, kind of cool, all you're trying to do is create coverage. Once we do that really light coverage, we're going to quickly go inside the light. All right, so remember, when you're painting, if the surface is slick or you're applying it over something that is slick, there's a tendency for the paint to move. If you want it to be stable, again, especially large surface area, paint one, get it inside the light, work on the other one. As soon as you're done painting that second nail, switch it out, right? And keep rotating through until you create your background complete. So what I'm gonna do now is take a little bit of the paint, and then all I'm doing is just brightening it up. I don't care whether it's perfect around the edges. I can get a little bit off my brush and just kind of blend up into, so you can see how it's lighter around the edges, all the way up to the top. Again, once we're done doing that, I'm going to get it inside the light, and I'm going to set that as long as it takes me to do the other finger. All right, so now what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to create the flowers. So I'm going to take color, right? Let's go ahead and start with molten. What I want to be able to do is just kind of work it out. You can see how I'm just kind of pushing to create a little bit of thickness around the back end, pushing out, and then obviously coming in tight. As soon as I get that, I'm going to set it inside the light and flash it. So one of the things you can do is you can take just the tip of a separate color, and then if I want to add it to the very back, you can see how I could just kind of run it down the side, so it adds a little bit of dimension to it. It's like a little bit of orange and then pink on the edges. Let's go ahead and freeze this inside the light. I'm going to use Sonic to create the second background for the second flower. Then I'm going to use Orbit for that small little flower in the top corner. I'm going to use a little bit of it as well to just kind of drag it around the edge of this flower right here. Let's go ahead and freeze this inside the light. what I'm gonna do is just kind of run my brush inside, pick up a dot, and then start from the very, very tip. And then what I wanna be able to do is I'm just gonna lay down a real shallow amount and just kind of lighten my brush. Just kind of chase it all the way down. The best part about it is I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm using just the very, very tip of the brush just to kind of guide it into place. And then what we can do is just take the tips and add just a slight little veins in the petal as well. And do the same thing here, a little bit heavier, lighten it up. If I need to add a little bit more for detail, I can. Again, I just need to keep it inside for about 10 seconds while I'm working on the other finger. I'm gonna do the same thing here, and then what I can really do is just lighten it up. And then coming around the edge, just the tip, right? I'm just using the very, very tip, and then I can kind of chase a little bit of volume around the edge, which I'm going to keep along the side. And then what I'm going to do is use the tip and just kind of chase it all the way around. Very, very light, so it looks like it's hiding behind that. Just take a dot and then just again poke the dot, and then all we want to do is just lightly touch right there. Use the tip to kind of follow down the last one. Work this all the way around the edges. The black is going to add all of the detail. Come around, keep a little bit of space. Even if there's color, it's good. You can see I'm kind of hiding it behind. Okay, and then what you can do is here, I'm just adding little dots around the edges. Let's go ahead and stick that inside the light for another 10 seconds. All right, what I'm gonna do, I like it, it's kind of cartoonish looking flowers, right, very graphical. And then what I'm gonna do is take stain resistant top coat, and then you're going to notice as soon as I come over the surface, man, it looks so bright. Flowers are a great filler for the free edge. What I love about this is the white is a great background, so it really brings out the floral pattern. I'm gonna go ahead and set the stain resistant top coat inside the light for 2 minutes. As soon as it comes out, I'm gonna wipe it, and it's gonna be super shiny.
Thank you so much for watching our nail videos. To check out more, head right over here, and to subscribe to our channel, click right over here.